What were your assignments in Iraq?
During the time I was in Iraq, the first one was the one I told you about, which is the Checkpoint 3, Checkpoint 8 in the western side of the dam. While our unit as a whole also had Checkpoint 3, which was on the intersection of Raptors and Phoenix, which was one of the most dangerous areas in the area that we were in at the time. From there, we went down to the south to what they call the COP, or not the COP, sorry, the what's the name of that? I can't remember the name of it. MHC, Military Housing Complex, which was previously an Iraqi military housing complex area, and they still were using it a little bit. From there, I did mounted patrols out of that area for a little while in the area of Baghdadi, and then I ended up taking over a TCP, which is a traffic control point in between Al-Assad and the Euphrates River. It was basically the only way that traffic could flow to the north and south in that area. So we searched cars and people moving through that area throughout the day, and then also ran patrols also throughout Baghdadi along the eastern side of the western side of the Euphrates there. From there, I did that for about 4 months. We went back up north to Haditha Dam, and this time we were on the east side. Did a lot of patrols. During that time, I basically did mounted patrols. I did about 90 mounted patrols in 30 days on that side of the river over there. From there, we went back to Al-Assad and flew back out. Those are the major areas.
Awesome. Did you have any experiences that stood out to you while you were in Iraq?
During the time I was there, there's actually 3 major experiences when I think about it, really. One happened when I was there that kind of won't ever go away. Another one happened, I didn't realize like the effects of it until later. And then another one happened shortly after. So the first one was we had a group of individuals that ended up exploding their VBIED, which is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device, early. So they were trying to hit an Iraqi checkpoint. They blew it up early, and we ended up having to go out there afterwards and do cleanup. So I won't really get into much, but there was pieces of people everywhere. So we had to go clean that up, which was not pretty. Another one that happened was right after I left. Well, during my last time when I was up on the eastern side of Haditha, there was a place we went to. We patrol out there all the time, and we found a couple of caches. We found a couple of IEDs out there, and I told the guy who relieved me, took over my patrols, was also, I served with him as a mechanic when I was at the AAV schools, the basic MOS school. He was a Lance Corporal, and I think he picked up Corporal before I left out of there. I was a sergeant, so I was a little bit older than him, more experienced. He was a kind of a newer guy, but he came over there and took over my patrols, and probably about 3 weeks after I left out of there, him and the other Marines in his vehicle ended up getting blown up in the same exact area that I told him was a dangerous area, and it just kind of really hurt, because those were my patrols, that was my area, I knew him. Hi.